We appreciate you listening and maybe participating in Invest Talk, and more of our new podcast listeners are calling in with their questions and stock ideas. That's why we're here. And if you can think of us as a sounding board and we can place some information in your hands, we'll feel satisfied. We want you to feel comfortable, too, asking your questions here. You can do that two ways. Use your phone. Call our anytime line, 888-99-CHART. That's 888-992-4278. Or go to investtalk.com. That's InvestTalk with two T's, investtalk.com, and click on Contact Us. And thanks again for listening to Invest Talk. Welcome to our 1-hour meeting of the minds about money, your money. This is Invest Talk, made possible today and every day by KPP Financial. It's about managing risk while looking for profits, putting the money you worked for to work for you. And now, here's registered investment advisor Steve Peasley.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Invest Talk, March 20th. The month is just zipping by. And I always appreciate all the listeners on the podcasters of the radio and investtalk.com. Appreciate that. The number one purpose of this 1 hour get together each afternoon is to offer some perspective to help you struggle through all our common concerns today, especially these days. It's all about our money. We've got some information for you, some detail, some answers, some help, I'm hoping. Our cause is to help you make better decisions, the best possible decision you can when it comes to making and keeping and growing your dollars. Now, at our conference in Indian Hills tomorrow, we'll be talking about how to approach today's market, thinking outside the stocks. What can we do? What are we dealing with right now? What kind of economic situations are we in? And how does this stack up with other economic situations? And when can we even see any hope down at the light at the end of the tunnel? Is there any? And if there is or there isn't, how should we react to the stock market? Or is there other kinds of equities that we should be thinking about? Those are the kinds of thoughts, kinds of things I'm going to discuss tomorrow. I'll try to get through. Now, of course, we'll be talking about stocks. We'll talk about charting. And, of course, we'll take all the questions that there is out there. Do that every time. And I usually have a very good time putting these seminars on. Jerry will be there. He'll start us off with a little spiel on what he thinks is going on, his experience in these kinds of markets, and what happens after these kinds of markets, and how close we are maybe to the end of this bear market. We've had a really nice couple of weeks, but that's after 2+ months of a collapsing market. Again, continuing. That's bad. It's been a bad situation. But thinking outside the stocks tomorrow, there's other things you can do. You just don't have to sit there and take it, Now, I will tell you this. There's not a lot of places you can go for protection, or growth. There's just not. There just isn't. So, today we have a retirement planning guide for the 40 and 50-year-olds. Okay, for you people in the 40s and 50s, what are you going to do? Anna Marie Andratas of smartmoney.com thinks that if you're 40 and 50, somewhere in that range, 40 to 50s, if you play your cards right, you still can enjoy a pretty good retirement. You got years yet. You're not retiring tomorrow. That's our talking point. I'll share some of the ideas, observations about this. How many years you think you're going to live in retirement, everybody? It's not going to be just at 65 years old, I stop. You're going to live another 30 years, 20, 30 years in retirement after 65. So if you're in the 40s or your 50s, you still have lots of time to make money, put money aside. You have to do it. You can get in on the line if you want, talk about whatever you're on your mind about money. Whether stock, bonds, real estate, mortgages, what is it about? It all impacts every one of us. All this, the financials. What are the government doing? What's that going to do to us? How much inflation? See, this is the biggest worry that most people are thinking about, or in the back of their mind. How much inflation will this produce? It doesn't necessarily have to produce inflation, but only if the government withdraws the trough of cash that they're pouring out. They're feeding everybody. Everybody in the world are feeding money, money, money. Everybody. And that money is fine when you have a big hole that we have that we're trying to fill up, but it's not fine once that hole is full. In other words, when the economy starts to turn around, when the economy starts showing life, are you going to keep pumping money into the economy, too much money, producing another bubble somewhere? That's the problem. That's what a lot of people are worried about. So if you want to ask about that kind of stuff, well, this is the show. 888-99-CHART is our number. You can get through right now. You can also email me right now, 888-99chart@gmail.com, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, today was Triple Witching. I don't know if you noticed, but it's Triple Witching. Third Friday of every month is Triple Witching, sometimes Quadruple Witching. Now, Triple Witching means there's a lot more volatility than normal. That's usually what it means. Let me just put it that way. And we had quite a bit of volatility. Market was up. I think got up to about 50 or so today. Then down, then back up. And then on the last, last half hour, 45 minutes, the lady who's in charge of FDIC warned about more banks going under by the end of the year. And that kind of put a little kibosh on the market at the very end. But we did end the week up for the Dow and for all the indexes. Not a lot. For the Dow, it's less than 1% for the week. But that would be the second week in a row it's been up. Well, we haven't seen that. So the market wasn't great today, but I am really expecting it to give back some of these recent gains of the week or two that we've had. Why? First of all, we were very oversold. So you had to have had an expectation of a rally somewhere. Just never know where from. So we had the rally, very sharp rally, from a bottom, and I frankly think it just has the possibility of being the bottom, but we don't know that for sure. But it smells like it, it feels like it, seems like it. Very possible, especially based on the economic numbers that we've been seeing. They're not as bad as they have been in the past. I have a feeling we're going to start getting some better comparisons. This month's statistics will look a little bit better than last month because last month was really bad. So this one's bad too, but not as bad. So the comparisons are important. So maybe we've seen the bottom of the economic slump. And remember, the stock market will start to recover 6 months, between 3 and 9 months before the economy starts to recover. So you have to think about that. When is the economy going to recover? Then back her up. How many months? 6 months at least. Maybe more, maybe less. We don't know. So that's what happened this week. Not a bad week overall, but not a week to be too excited about either. We're open for your calls, questions, comments on today's Talking Point. The lines are open here live 4 to 5 p.m. on the program right now. 888-99-CHART. That's 888-992-4278.
Weekends are a great time to visit our favorite website, investtalk.com. You can join in our blog, add your views to the buzz, and there are always more than a handful of self-help investing articles linked there on the homepage under Invest Talk Features. And you can even review the week's talking points and hear shows from the past 10 days. It's all there for you.